Hello everyone, I'm Freaky and welcome to the video. My friends, back in the day when I was watching Cartoon Network and Toonami, there were some awesome cartoons and there was some awesome stuff on Toonami like Dragon Ball Z, Cowboy Bebop, Gundam Wing, X-Men Evolution, Big O, Teen Titans, The Justice League Unlimited, Megas XLR, Dragon Ball GT, Batman of the Future or Batman Beyond, and E-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And I'm talking about the good version, not the 80s one, not the newest one, but the one that came out in the year 2000s. That was a brilliant series. And of course, there was Cartoon Network and Boomerang. Boomerang was mostly old school cartoons like the Looney Tunes, Tom and Jerry, Tex Avery cartoons. There was the Flintstones, the Jetsons, and any Hanna-Barbera cartoon that was on at the time. And when it came to Cartoon Network was more cartoons that was new, and new cartoons that was made by Cartoon Network like Dexter's Lab, the Powerpuff Girls, Johnny Bravo, etc, etc, etc. Even Ed, Edd n Eddy. But I started watching cartoons on cable, I think it was around the time when they were showing this.
Right now, people all over the world in 85 countries on 4 continents are watching nobody. Cartoon Network, the best place for cartoons all over the world.
Yeah, this commercial that was telling us there was loads of people all the way around the world watching Cartoon Network. Heck, I even think this was the time when Super Chunk was being shown on Cartoon Network. And there was this CGI kid that came right at the screen and said, Cartoon Network is the best place for cartoons. You wanna know why? And then he would run away, and then he would come back to the screen, and then he would say something, and then run away again, and the Cartoon Network logo would fall on him, and he would get on top of the Cartoon Network logo and start laughing like a maniac. It was roughly around then when I started watching Cartoon Network. And you know what? I couldn't keep my eyes off the screen when I was watching Cartoon Network back in the day, because when I was a kid, I absolutely loved watching cartoons. And then when we got cable, I was in freaking heaven, because there was one cartoon after the next, after the next, after the next, and you know, it was just so freaking awesome. When my parents wasn't around or they was out or something, I would always watch the cartoons. And you know what? I freaking loved them. And there was all sorts of different cartoons. And I think Cartoon Network was the very first cartoon channel, and then it was Boomerang, and then it was Toonami. I could be wrong, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. I can't exactly remember, but I think we did have Boomerang. Like I said, I can't remember. What I'm trying to say is, we had Cartoon Network, then Boomerang, then Toonami. But I can't remember if Boomerang came in later on, or it came along with Cartoon Network. But either way, hey, 2 channels with cartoons. Anyways, there was Nickelodeon, there was Nicktoons, there was Jetix. There was quite a few cartoon channels back in my day. There was also the Disney Channel as well. So really, I was in cartoon heaven when I was watching these channels on cable. And you know what? I don't regret. It was all happy time when I was watching cartoons on Cartoon Network and all these little channels. But then, later on, in the year 2000, we had Toonami. And oh my days, I absolutely loved Toonami back in the day. And it had so many cool shows. Toonami was for teens to kids who wanted action and adventure. It was just so freaking brilliant. Oh, and there's also something else I want to say. Cartoon Network, Boomerang, Toonami, Nickelodeon, Jetix, etc, 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 was completely different than it was in the United States. I think Naruto was on Toonami over in the United States, but in the UK he was on Nickelodeon, which in my opinion was a shame because it would have been perfect if it was on Toonami. In fact, all the cool anime that was coming out should have been on Toonami, but instead they were put all over the place. Like for example, did you guys know that over here in the UK we used to have a channel called Propeller TV, and on Propeller TV it used to have a segment called Anime Network, and I'm not really sure, but I think this segment on Propeller TV only lasted for about like a year or something. At least I think so. Anyways, we had all sorts of anime on there. There was Jinky Extend, there was this Ugly Yet Beautiful World, there was Azumanga Daioh, there was Evangelion, there was Bleach, and of course, the Guyver, the Bio Booster Armor. And also there was Sci-Fi with its list of classic anime like Akira and Ghost in the Shell. And I'm pretty sure I saw Fullmetal Alchemist somewhere. Like I said, everything back in the day, cartoons and anime, was all over the place. Heck, there was even a few on MTV back in the day. I mean, all those shows should have been on Toonami. It would have been awesome if that happened. But yeah, I'm getting off track. Now, there is a reason why I made this video. It wasn't just to tell you guys of what cartoons I saw back in the day, or anything like that, but it was for something completely different entirely. But before I do that, there's something I want to talk about first that got me thinking of making this video. Well, who here knows DBZ Armorin? Now, if you're a DBZ fan, or a Bleach fan, or an anime fan in general, I highly recommend you guys go and check out DBZ Armorin, because he is an absolute legend. Anyways, DBZ Armorin made a few videos talking about stuff about Dragon Ball Z in the UK, or Dragon Ball Z The Lost Media, or, most importantly, the very video that got me wanting to make this video was his video, The History of Toonami UK. And oh my days, all 3 of these videos that he made on these topics was just so damn good, but his video on the history of toonami in the UK was just so damn good. So I highly recommend you guys go and check out that video. And I'm not going to tell you guys what's in that video, because it'll explain everything within that video. Well, actually, it was a combination of the history of toonami UK and his other video, Dragon Ball Z Lost Media, Preserving Anime History. And in his Dragon Ball Z Lost Media video, he talks about the Ocean dub and the Westwood dub, and that dub was the Dragon Ball Z that we grew up in the UK with. And for a long time, people thought that this dub of Dragon Ball Z was lost forever. And it was all thanks to DBZ Armament and his team that brought back the Ocean dub, the Westwood dub, and the Blue Water dub of GT. And I'm telling you guys something, the Ocean dub for Dragon Ball Z was so freaking awesome. In fact, I highly recommend it. So if you guys have time, please go and check out the Ocean dub. You can find it on the internet. Again, I'm getting off track. It was a combination between those two videos that got me thinking, we do need to preserve all Dragon Ball media, regardless of what it is. And it was all thanks to DBZ Armament that inspired me to appreciate old media. I mean, not to say that I didn't appreciate old media before I watched this video, but after what DBZ Armament did, it truly made me understand that we should appreciate and preserve media. Because again, we could have lost the Ocean Westwood dub forever. And you know what, I'm pretty sure there's some Dragon Ball Z fans out there that has every single piece of media, regardless of what it is. And I'm pretty sure those pieces of media are out there on the internet somewhere for us fans to watch and appreciate. And it's all thanks to the internet that we can find these medias that goes alongside Dragon Ball Z. You know, the official releases, like OVAs, games, you know, that sort of stuff. We really do need to preserve our old media. And speaking of which, do you guys remember the Nostalgia Critic? Yeah, I know. You guys want me to get to the point of what I'm trying to say, but this part is important. Well, basically, some time ago, the Nostalgia Critic made a video about old commercials. You know, that thing he does every so often, somewhere around Christmas time. And one of those commercials was about the Wilkins coffee, and it was these two puppets called Wilkins and Watkins. And basically what happens in these commercials, Watkins doesn't like Wilkins coffee, and Wilkins does some horrific stuff to him because he didn't like the coffee. And after seeing 1 or 2 episodes of that, I thought to myself, you know what, I'll go and check those videos out. And you know what? They're pretty damn good. They're just really funny commercials, so I highly recommend you guys go and check them out. Check out Wilkins coffee commercials. But the thing is, even though there's loads of commercials for Wilkins coffee, there is still a lot of episodes of them missing. And there is people trying to find the other episodes for Wilkins coffee with these 2 characters in it. And you know what? That's freaking dedication. So I want you guys to keep this in mind, because I'm about to say why exactly I made this video. Well, after watching DBZ Armament's video on toonami in the UK, he was showing us promos, bumpers, and the coming up next, Tenchi Muyo. And there was little music videos, and when he showed me these, I was like, oh my god, I remember all these. And I particularly remember this one bumper that was promoting the Imperfect Cell saga on toonami, and oh my god, it was just so freaking awesome. And there was also the Kid Buu saga, where this announcer says Super Buu is now transforming once again, and he will stop at nothing to defeat Goku, Vegeta, and the total destruction of Earth. Or there was this other bumper that was going, time to play the game! The Cell Game's 1 hour on Dragon Ball Z, only on toonami. Oh, I mean, all those promos and bumpers and ads and commercials on toonami was just so freaking awesome. They got you hyped and made you look forward to watching the next saga of Dragon Ball Z. And I'm telling you guys, it was just so goddamn cool. Watching all these promos and bumpers, add-ons, commercials. I mean, nobody wants to see commercials or ads because we want to get right into the shows that's on toonami. But the promos, the ads, and the bumpers that was on toonami made waiting more tolerable. In fact, I downright enjoyed them. I just loved the hype. Every single time one of those bumpers was saying, Cowboy Bebop next, or Toonami Hero Files. I mean, these are promos and bumpers that I didn't mind actually watching, because these bumpers and promos was just so epic to watch, and they actually felt like they were part of the series. Okay, not literally, but the people who actually put all these things together and that narration of what's coming up next, I mean, they were just so freaking awesome, especially the Dragon Ball Z promos and bumpers. And that's exactly what I want to do. I want to get every single bumper, promo, ad, commercial, or next on toonami, you know, etc, etc, etc. I want to get all those things and preserve them. I mean, come on, you guys can't tell me that these bumpers and promos wasn't awesome when you was watching toonami or Cartoon Network back in the day. And also, there's one other thing I forgot to mention. There was also a channel called CNX, where Samurai Jack, Dragon Ball Z, and all that stuff that was on toonami. All those shows moved to CNX, and it roughly lasted about like a year, till it went back to toonami on Cartoon Network. At least I think so anyways. So yeah, there was promos and bumpers on CNX too. Hell, the bumpers and promos on CNX was just as good as toonami. They were just freaking awesome back in the day. Heck, they even used Eminem's music, Lose Yourself, and using clips from other shows, like Samurai Jack, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam, etc, etc. And you know what? That was a good music promo video, and that's originally what I wanted to do. I wanted to get every single bumper and promo that was ever promoting Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network, or toonami, or CNX, or just showing bits of clips there and there. That's originally what I wanted to do. But after thinking about all the other promos and bumpers that was on Boomerang or toonami was really fun too. I think one of my favourite ones was Fiddle Your Friday, you could be a winner. That was loads of fun. Oh, and there was this other one where the announcer was doing this Japanese accent, and there was the song, Turning Japanese, I think I'm turning Japanese, I really think so. And the announcer says, next week it's Ed, and Eddie, and then it's Tenchi in Tokyo. And it was something else I couldn't remember, but I can remember him saying, Cartoon Network is turning Japanese. And remember the Cartoon Network letters bouncing up and down when Cartoon Network was signing off? And remember when it was late at night and Cartoon Network was about to sign off, and all the letters of the Cartoon Network logo would turn into Z's because everybody was going to sleep? I mean, I could go on and on and on, talking about the promos, the bumpers, the continuities. Heck, there was even this marathon that was even celebrating the Flintstones. Heck, there was even times when certain characters would be on TV and they'd be talking to kids on the phone. And they were asking questions like, who is Scooby-Doo's nephew? And if you guess right, you get a goodie bag, or something like that. There was one with Johnny Bravo, there was one with Blue from Foster's Home, there was one with Ed, and Eddie. Like, all these things that came in before, during, or after the cartoon or episode. All of these things were really, really fun, and I enjoyed them. And what I'm trying to say is, I want to collect every single one of these things that started from 1995 all the way to when toonami stopped playing in the UK, which I think was 2007. And the reason why I'm doing it from 1995 to 2007 is because, one, I am a huge fan of toonami, and I wouldn't mind getting my hands on all of the toonami promos, bumpers, and we'll be back right after this break. And the continuities? I mean, come on, it's freaking toonami. And when it comes to Cartoon Network and Boomerang, I think it should be 1995 to 2007, the same year toonami stopped. And they must be the UK ones, and not the US ones. Now, some people might think it's unfair for me to say that, oh, I'm only looking for the 1995 ones to 2007, and only the UK ones. But it doesn't have to be like that, because everybody can join in. Like, if there was any promos and bumpers and continuities and so on that you enjoyed on Cartoon Network or Boomerang or Nickelodeon or CNX or etc, 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 regardless if they're the UK ones or the USA ones or the Japanese ones or whatever year they came out. I actually want to find every single one of these bumpers and promos and so on, regardless of what channel they're from or what year they came out. But to me, from 1995 to the end of toonami in 2007 are the ones that are special to me, and those are the ones I'm trying to find first. And sure, I know for a fact that I'm not going to be able to find every single one of these things. I mean, come on, that'd be next to impossible. But at the very least, I can do something to save all these promos and bumpers and continuities. And you know what? They deserve it. They were the exciting parts before, between, and after the show. So I do say that they all need to be found and preserved, especially the Dragon Ball ones from toonami. So if you guys want to join in and help me find these things, then you guys are freaking champions. Now listen, I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, but Freaky, even if we do find them, where would we put them for other people to watch? Well, I'm glad you guys asked. Well, do you guys remember that Wilkins and Wonkins commercials that I was telling you about? Well, funnily enough, there is this place on the internet called Lost Media, and basically it's a place where they help find lost or hard to find media, and loads of people gets in on trying to find any lost media, and they'll write them down saying this has been found, or that movie's been found, or that episode's been found, you know, that sort of stuff. And they will help you find all these medias that you're trying to look for. But the thing is, we need to put all these lost medias, like promos and bumpers and all those sort of medias that was thought to be lost, on a video platform that won't take it down, because we all know that YouTube has a problem with copyrighted stuff. So I say we need to upload them to other places, like for example the video website Rumble or Odyssey, or somebody could make a web page that's for lost media that has been found. I mean, come on, we need something like this to preserve our media, because these companies aren't going to look after their media. I mean, look at the Dragon Ball Z Ocean Westwood dub. That was never given a full release. Well, I mean, the Ocean's dub one was, but it was never fully released with the Ocean's dub. At the very least, I think so anyways. And it was all thanks to fans who love the dub that found it, fixed it up, and preserved it. And you know what? We need love like this for all media. I mean, heck, I'm a fan of Channel 4's 100 Greatest Moments. Like, it's a series that has top 100s of all different sorts of things, like the 100 Greatest Scariest Moments, the 100 Greatest Funniest Moments, the 100 Greatest Toys, Gadgets, Cartoons, Children's TV shows, family films, documentaries, etc, etc, etc. But the thing is, I'm still looking for the others, because I've only got half of the episodes from that series. And you know what, I wouldn't mind trying to get my hands on the rest of them. And that's also what I'm looking for as well. Channel 4's 100 Greatest Moments. And there are quite a few episodes from the series that I am missing. But again, I have preserved quite a few of them. And they're all on Rumble. So if you guys want to go and check them out, please do. But again, I'm still looking for the others. And I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, come on, Freaky. All those promos and bumpers aren't that important. Those were just promotions and bumpers that went before, between, and the end of the episode. They're not that important. Well, let me ask you guys something. When you was young, was there any commercials that you liked as a kid? Because back in the day, commercials were fun, entertaining, and funny at times. Because back in the day, there were some commercials that I did like as a kid. There was the Smarties commercials. There was the Milky Way commercial with the red car and the blue car. There was the Sugar Puffs Honey Monster. There was the Spaceman commercial where it went, Spaceman. I mean, yeah, our commercials today are freaking terrible. In fact, you rarely see them. But back in the day, they were freaking awesome. And you know what? You could say commercials back in the day were just a waste of time and not important. And you know what? I disagree with that too. Because again, they were entertaining, they were fun, and they were funny. I really did enjoy commercials back in the day. I wish we had some fun ones, like we used to back in the day. Heck, there was even one with Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, and the product they were selling was Weetabix. If you don't know what that is, go and look up Bugs Bunny Weetabix. That was a funny commercial. So no, promos and bumpers aren't a waste of time, especially the toonami ones. To me, they were fun to watch. They made me look forward to the cartoons that was going to come up. They made me laugh, and it was funny to see the characters interact with other characters or the Cartoon Network sign, or when the narrator says, okay, the lineup is Ed, Edd n Eddy at 10 o'clock, and Looney Tunes Show at 11 o'clock, and Dragon Ball Z at 12 o'clock. You know, something like that. I like the Cartoon Network ones, I like the Boomerang ones, especially Toonami and CNX. All those bumpers and promos were fan-freaking-tastic. And you know what? I'm not going to forget about the USA ones, because I have seen a few promos and bumpers from the USA. Heck, I know all about the Cartoon Network town, where characters would interact with other characters, like Johnny Bravo interacting with Samurai Jack, or Professor Utonium interacting with Ed from Ed, Edd n Eddy, or Dexter, or Number 1 from Kids Next Door. And I did see a few more promos and bumpers from the USA ones too, like for example, Little Dog from Two Stupid Dogs, where he was managing a store at night. And you know what? I thought that was funny. So my main point is, every single promo and bumper and so on should be found, restored and preserved, and uploaded to places where people can watch them. Again, originally I wanted to get every single promotion and bumper that featured Dragon Ball Z and Toonami. And when I thought about it, I also wanted to watch the old Cartoon Network and Boomerang promos and bumpers. And that's what I want to do from 1995 to the end of Toonami in 2007. And it's from the UK. And if you guys want to help me out, that would be smashing. But if you don't, that's okay too. Now, I know what some people are going to say. They're going to say, oh, but Freaky, what about the promos and bumpers that was before 1995 and after 2007? Because there are going to be fans of these promos and bumpers from those times too. It wouldn't be fair for you to just get the promos and bumpers from 1995 to 2007. And there's also other regions like the USA ones. You can't just leave out those bumpers, because all those bumpers and promotions were just as funny as the UK ones on Cartoon Network and Toonami and Boomerang. And yes, you guys are absolutely right. And you know what? That's true. But, like I said, I am a huge fan of these promos and bumpers that I watched as a kid. I was a fan of Toonami back in the day. And you know what? There is a fan base for Toonami. That's why they brought it back. But sadly, this new Toonami is woke. It isn't my Toonami that I grew up with years ago. But yeah, I'm getting off track. Like I said, I'm only looking for the ones that I grew up with from 1995 to 2007 for Toonami. Well, it was 2000 to 2006 or 7 when Toonami stopped. And I think it would be roughly around 1995 to when Toonami stopped. That would be the cutoff point for the bumpers and the promotions for Toonami, CNX, Cartoon Network and Boomerang. And I'm only going to look for the ones that from that era of when I was watching Cartoon Network, Boomerang, CNX and Toonami back in the day. And you know what? I encourage all my American friends, Australian fans, Japanese friends, Canadian friends to join in and find all the promotions and bumpers that you liked as a kid from any TV program or channel. And it could be anything. It could be from Nickelodeon, Jetix, Toonami, Cartoon Network. It can be anything. If you did enjoy those promos and bumpers, then go and look for them look for them, restore them, and upload them to the internet so other people can watch them. Nickelodeon, Jetix, the Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, Boomerang, toonami, CNX. If you enjoy those bumpers, then go and look for them. And listen, it isn't just the UK ones from 1995 to 2007 I'll be looking for. I'll also look for any bumper or promotion from anywhere I can find them. But first, I'm going to look for the ones that I watched as a kid. And as I'm going through my journey of trying to find the ones that I like, I'll look for the ones that was before 1995. And to all the fans of Cartoon Network that was from 2005 to present day, if there's any bumpers and promos that you like, then download them and put them somewhere on the internet that everybody else can enjoy. I mean, look at all the promos and bumpers that I was showing you guys during this video. I mean, weren't those things cool? And that's exactly why I want to get all those bumpers and promos. They were cool, they were funny, they were enjoyable to watch, they were, they actually felt part of the series that you were watching. They were just so freaking brilliant. Again, originally I wanted to get the Dragon Ball ones, but now I want to get all those ones that were part of my childhood. And hopefully, in the long run too, I'll be able to get the ones that I didn't grow up with, because even though I'm going to be biased and just get the ones that I grew up with first, doesn't mean I'm not going to get the others. All media should be preserved. That's what I believe in. And it's up to us, the fans, to preserve those medias. Again, look at all the promotions that was in this video. And that's only the tip of the iceberg of what you guys have seen. There are loads of these things from the beginning of Cartoon Network to now. And these was the UK ones. And you know what? I don't care if anybody says something like, these promos and bumpers are just a waste of time, or they're not interesting. I mean, that's your opinion. But to me, these bumpers and promos and so on was something special to me. And not just to me, but loads of people love these bumpers and promos. I mean, there are loads of people who loves these toonami promos and bumpers. That's why they brought toonami back in 2018. It wasn't just the shows that we loved on Cartoon Network, but it was also the promos and the bumpers that came along with toonami. These promos and bumpers and so on got us hyped and made us look forward to of what was coming next. Or there was those marathon parts of Cartoon Network. Like, remember the Flintstones? Back in the day, I think it was either Cartoon Network or it was Boomerang that did this big massive marathon for the Flintstones, and they would do all these sorts of funny stuff like this has been a Flintstones minute, or they would do questionnaires on the Flintstones. I'm telling you guys, Cartoon Network, Boomerang, toonami and CNX had some phenomenally great bumpers back in the day. And you know what? I'll show you guys one of my favorites. Just have a listen to this.
Sweet and sour, life and death. If it feels good, it's alright. If it feels good, it's alright. Tell me, can you feel it? Can you feel it? If it feels good, it's alright. If it feels good, it's alright. Tell me, can you feel it? Can you feel it?
How freaking cool was that? Or let's have a look at another one from Cartoon Network. That was so damn fun. Again, there's loads of these things. Loads of them. Tons of them. And this is what I'm going to be looking for. I want to preserve all these promos and bumpers. And if you guys want to join in, then be my guest. And let me know what you've come across. So that way, we will know which promos and bumpers that we have. Again, I know we're not going to find every single one of these things. But hey, whatever we can find, I'll be happy with. And I'm sure all the fans who loved all these bumpers would be happy too. And if you guys think that this is a good idea, and you want to find your own favorite bumpers from any channel, like Nickelodeon, then go right ahead and find them. And when you do, upload them to other places like Rumble, Odyssey, YouTube, or put them in a file, put them on cloud storage, like a Google Drive or Dropbox or Mega, and place it all over the place, so other people can download them for themselves. At the very least they would be safe, like a link on Reddit, Twitter, Tumblr, you know, all those places. I will do an update on this one of the days and tell you this is what I'm going to do. But in the meantime, it's time for me to find some promos and bumpers. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. So, what do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? Do you love the old bumpers and promos from Cartoon Network and Toonami? Or are there other promos and bumpers from other channels like Nickelodeon? Please let me know in the comment sections below and let's get a discussion going. I'm Freaky. Peace out. And please don't forget to check out my other social medias. Please go and check out my alternative video platforms, Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Twitch, and please come and hang out on my Discord server. We can play games, have a movie night or a series night, or you can watch me play a few games. And if you guys have any suggestions of any videos you want me to react to, or any video ideas in general, you can tell me on my Discord. I'm also on Twitter, Gab, Getter, and Paula. I'm on Locals, Tumblr, Minds, and if you guys want to support me, please go and check out my Subscribe Star. It's like Patreon, but better. All these things are in the description box below, so please go and check them out and subscribe to them. I'm Geek Freak. Peace out.